Yeah, good afternoon folks, a little bit after 4 PM, we're still playing with the valve radios here, vacuum tubes. Now what we've got here, I've already taken some notes, it's a HMV Miner, model 524 from 1952. That makes it older than me and older than quite a few of you. So made in New Zealand by Collier and Beale under licence to HMV. It's only a 4-valve unit, 4-valve set, and I think... Anyway, so I think you'll find that it doesn't pick up the weak stations as well. Now, we've already discussed before how we're using the ELCB, RCD, safety switch, GFCI, whatever you want to call it. We've checked the radio for any obvious defects. We have checked the cord and the plug. We looked in the back, see if to find any dead mice in there, with a bit of... screws and nails have fallen in or something. It's quite clean looking in there actually. It may have had a restoration or a repair at some stage, but certainly quite a nice unit. 1952, so that's over 70 years old. Now we've got our dim bulb tester here because we don't have a variac. We put it on the 15 watt bulb, so a fairly high resistance. We gave that about a couple of minutes, 5 minutes or whatever. We then went to the 25 watt bulb and then we went to the 40. So it's all turned off now. We'll turn back on at our safety switch, RCD, GFC, ICE, whatever. Right. We've already got the volume knob turned on. It's the off and volume. It's actually very wonky. The laws at the time require them to use a certain number of New Zealand made components and New Zealand made capacitors and volume controls. Not particularly good ones. And the fact that it's 70 years old. Oh, there we go. So with our 40 watt bulb, you might just be able to hear a wee bit of talking there. We're getting about 150, 160 volts there on low power. And the dial light, is it just showing up there a little wee bit? Yes. So 160 volts. Remember our mains power here is 230, 240. Up to full power. The light goes out. Full power into the radio.
There are so many areas of the media now that were never there even 5 years ago, like 10 years ago. And so it's a matter of saying, well, okay, if you sponsor the All Blacks, this is going to be what your benefits you will derive in terms of your association with our
and compared to yesterday, I got my list here of the other day. I've been listening to some AM. There is a community station. This is a sport one, so I thought there won't be music on it so much. Up at 1260 on the AM dial. At 1413 we've got the Radio Ferrymead. And I believe I was picking that up earlier, but it was very, very faint. Now with the 5-valve radios I was testing the other day and listening to a little bit afterwards, with the 5-valve radios, they were picking that up with no trouble at all. This radio transmits on 6 is it kilowatts? Yeah. And the other, the community station's only on 300 watts. Yeah, this is 6 kilowatts.
It still is the case that you will not see the 3 stripes down the sleeves of an All Blacks shirt, right? I did the Adidas deal along with Kevin Roberts. And,
with the 5-valve radio, there wasn't really a great deal of difference. You know, it can pick up a 320 watt AM transmitter as good as it can pick up a 6 kilowatt one, around the city area at least. But this one, yeah, the community, the Radio Ferrymead community station, very faint indeed. I went looking for it. I'm fairly sure I found it. Very faint. Not helped by the fact the volume control is definitely a bit dusty and just
strong enough to resist the sorts of pressure.
If people do a full restoration on New Zealand radios, they tend to sometimes take out the volume controls, even if it's still functional, and put in a better quality unit. But there we go. We've got our notes. A note paper, as pointed out before, with the model number and that on it and information. We've got the valves here. We'll turn that back down to low power. And we can turn that off. And we turn it off at our safety switch. ELCB, RCD, G, F, CI. And that's another one done. So that one worked good. And I'll make a note there that it worked well, but the volume control is a bit wonky, and it doesn't seem to be very sensitive for weak stations. But that's, I think, one of the main differences between a 4-valve and a 5-valve. These little small mantle sets of the sort of that era, they're just not so good on the weak stations. They're probably good round town. People in the country would have wanted a 5-valve or more set. Okay, folks, cheerio.